Hey guys, Larry at the Pipe Cat channel here. I'm watching this flock of geese in the river next to my house. Looks like there's about 100 of them there. So peaceful and so calm. It's about 20 degrees Fahrenheit out here in Massachusetts. And every now and again a big squawk will go through that flock right there. Although I can't see what's causing it. And here's a field next to my house. That was a cornfield this past summer. It was loaded with corn. It's funny. I left my house for a day in the fall and came home, and that field was empty again. So whoever harvested that did it mighty quick. And in the 14 years that I've lived here, it was the first time that I've ever seen anyone grow anything in that field. It's just been a field of grass. All this bubbling that you're hearing is my pipe. My little mini church warden, Meerschaum. In this is a 5-year cellared John Cotton's #1. It was kind of the subject that I had intended for my video today. I'm out on my porch on the 3rd floor, watching the geese taking in the sky. You know, suburban New England. I gotta tell you, I've got it made in so many ways. My apartment is very affordable, and I've got heat and hot water included with it. I know, TMI, right? But the point is, the rent is very low for that. And look what I get. A river? I mean, come on. Who lives next to a river in Massachusetts for cheap money? A big field with no neighbors on that side. The only neighbors I have are in the apartment building with me, and you don't even know they're here. My pipe is gurgling like crazy because it's cold out, and I probably didn't dry the tobacco out enough before I lit this. But cellared tobacco, I've got some of that, like this when I'm smoking, you know, somewhat cellared, 5 years. 5 years in an unopened glass jar, sealed, a mason jar. And I also have some John Cotton's #1 that's fresh. And I just wanted to talk about the difference between them. It's very subtle. Cellaring tobacco, I don't know if I'm just not doing it right, but I put it in a cool place with regulated temperature and leave it unopened for a long time. And I've got some, the oldest I have is about 5 years old. Unless I bought some that was already cellared before that and it's still sitting there, and I don't know how old that stuff would be. I haven't kept track. And I find that there are benefits to cellared tobacco and there are benefits to fresh tobacco. With cellared tobacco, I think the biggest benefit is that the flavors, depending on how complex a blend it is, the flavors are more married, they're more uniform. It's sort of its own thing. You can taste where it came from, you can still taste the original intention of the tobacco. But its components kind of come together after that much time and sort of make their own thing. For instance, this John Cotton #1, after cellaring 5 years, you can taste that sort of Virginia brightness still there, but it is very much affected by the other ingredients. That you can, it's still a little bright, but it's a little darker than it would have been. Fresh John Cotton #1, you can taste the individual components kind of separately, very clearly. The Virginias stand out a little more lemony, maybe, brighter. If you like that, which I do. I like both, actually. So basically, I find that cellaring tobacco really only subtly blends the flavors more. And I don't know that it's a better smoke. It doesn't burn any differently that I can tell. I mean, any tobacco, cellared or not, if it's too moist, you got to dry it out a little bit before you start smoking it. But I mean, as long as you dry it out adequately, and don't over dry it, the burn is about the same, I think. I don't really see much difference. So really it's just about the flavor and whether you like a more subtly married, mixture of the components, or if you prefer to taste the individual components, on their own a little more. So it's really just a matter of taste. So that's why I do both. Even though I've got some stuff in there that I haven't opened for a number of years, I'll still buy a tin or a bag of it and smoke it fresh, because I do like both. It's almost like, you like your vegetables sautéed in a pan, or would you rather have them fresh in your salad? And they both have benefits, So I don't have a whole lot to add there, except that cellaring, yeah, that's all well and good. I guess the biggest benefit is to know that if you put tobacco away without opening it for a long, long time, as long as it stays sealed, it never goes bad. That's one thing good about it. Excuse me. So to keep this video rather short, quick update. I came down with, if you saw my last video, I came down with COVID, long COVID they call it, on Christmas Day. And as of today, it's almost been a month, a couple of days shy of a month. And I'll tell you, this stuff is a long time going. It is a long time going. I had to take antibiotics for COVID pneumonia, which lasted me, 10 days. And the antibiotics themselves beat the hell out of you. And it was doxycycline in my case, which you have to stay out of the sun, and it affects your stomach and your digestion. So that I had to deal with for a while. And then once the fever was gone, which, by the way, took 12 days. 12 days of having a fever of anywhere from, like down around 100.5 to close to 102. Up and down all day long, every day for 12 straight days. On the 13th day, I woke up feeling very dizzy and strange and sweating. And the fever seems to have broken, and I thought to myself, oh yeah, I'm going to be all better now. I got past the crisis time. But really, I had a couple more weeks to go. And I'm still in it. No fever since then, but, COVID pneumonia is a long time going. The antibiotics that they gave me were to prevent a secondary infection, because it really doesn't cure pneumonia. It's sort of a misconception that some people have about it. So I probably still have some residual of it in my lungs. I'm coughing stuff up every day. You have to take the Mucinex or some kind of an expectorant, or else your lungs won't get clear. And you need them clear if you want your oxygen levels to stay up. So right now, a month after catching it, there's been no fever for 2 weeks. I still feel a little bit of oppression in my chest, in my lungs. My oxygen's okay. I don't have trouble breathing, but I do get winded quickly, and I feel very weak. And honestly, I've lost at least 30 pounds in this last month because my appetite just went out the window. It's probably a good thing. A friend of mine was saying to me today that he thinks it's a roundabout way of getting a fresh start. He's like, well, you were really heavy. Well, I'm still really heavy. He's like, well, you're that much less heavy now. Maybe run with that momentum if you can. So I'm going back on the keto diet now. I've been letting myself eat kind of whatever I wanted since I got sick, because I just couldn't see depriving myself of anything, but I didn't have much of an appetite anyway. So I ate a small meal consisting of the usual. You might say I went back to counting calories during that time rather than counting carbs. So the carb thing seems to work for me when I'm healthy, so I'm going to go back on it, just do the keto diet, and hopefully keep my weight down, maybe even lose more if I can. And as my ability to recover, and not be winded from small activity, as that begins to return to me, of course I got to get back out to the walking regimen and things like that. Slow going, and of course, in your upper 50s, and a smoker, cigars and pipes, and a diabetic at that, and being obese, I mean, I stacked the deck against myself, for catching a sickness, and it certainly beats the shit out of somebody like me. So it's just slow going. Just thought I'd let you know. But I think I'm going to be okay. I mean, I am better every day. So hopefully I'll have happier and more up-tempo videos. But for today, I just want to talk a little bit about Cellared tobacco, and just a little blurb on that, and show you the view from my porch here, and say hello to my my 100 goose march there. And oh, some squirrels. Sometimes I hear a fisher screaming down there. I have not seen him yet, but I hear him. And a couple of times late at night, I've heard a splash in the water and screaming geese. So I don't know if something's going in after them or something. I don't know. But it's got to be cold out there. Oh, there's a swan. See the swan? Oh, well. Yeah, that's it for now. Just want to check in, say hello. It is January 22nd, 2022. And this is Larry at the Pipe Cat channel saying, have a nice weekend, and I will talk to you soon.